10 of the weirdest animals you've never seen. With more than 8 million species of living things on Earth, no wonder that nobody knows or has seen them all. That's why we've chosen the most curious and weirdest animals of the bunch, so you won't have to spend a decade checking them out yourself. If you're interested in knowing what kind of animals we have on our list, then please keep watching. Number 1. Dumbo Octopus. Grimpothothis, aka Dumbo Octopus, is an interesting animal that can be found in all the oceans of the world. There are 13 species of them and can be rarely seen because of living on the bottom of the sea on a depth ranging from 1,300 to 23,000 feet. Since not much is known about Dumbo octopi, they are not considered to be endangered species. The Dumbo octopus has soft head-shaped body with 8 arms. They are connected with each other via thin flaps of the skin. 2 ear-like fins are positioned on both sides of the head. Hunting involves catching unwary prey in the water or seeking them out while crawling along the bottom. The octopus behavior conserves energy, which is at a premium in a habitat where both food and predators are relatively scarce. However, this kind of octopus can only live between 3 to 5 years. Number 2. Irwadji Dolphin. The Irwadji dolphin is a beautiful and vulnerable animal that can be found around the tropical waters of Burma, Cambodia, Vietnam, and the Mekong River in Laos. Although it's in the name, the Irwadji dolphin looks more like a whale as it doesn't have a beak, which is a common feature among dolphins. It's closely related to the orca family but is very similar to a beluga whale, albeit slightly darker in color. The dolphin has a rounded skull with a very flexible neck, which causes visible creases behind its head. Irwadji dolphins are quite large creatures, marking a weight of 12.3 kilos at birth, and they can expand to a massive 200 kilos when they are fully grown. Unlike other dolphins, the Irwadji dolphin doesn't leap, instead skimming the water's surface and occasionally rolling over the water. Number 3. Fossa. The fossa is Madagascar's largest predator and the only animal to regularly and successfully hunt the island's largest lemur species. The fossa looks very much like a small brown cougar, but it is not a cat. Fossas are small animals at about 15 inches at the shoulder. They are rarely more than 30 inches long, not including the equally long tail, and they average somewhere between 15 and 30 pounds, with males a bit longer than females. Fossas live in a well-vegetated forest throughout the island and range over large territories, sometimes traveling many miles in a single day. Fossas are cathmeral, meaning they may be active day or night, alternating swift activity with deep naps. They are mysterious and secretive, and only limited knowledge exists of their lifestyle and habits in the wild. Number 4. Tufted deer. The tufted deer can simply be described as a small type or species of deer that is mostly recognized by its conspicuous tuft of black hair on its forehead. This species exists in mountainous forests of Myanmar and central parts of China. The tufted deer commonly exist at high altitudes and occasionally in rainforests. Moreover, they exist in habitats that are closer to water bodies. They feed on leaves, twigs, grasses, fruits, and other kinds of plants. They are classified as browsers and grazers. Tufted deer press the lower incisors against the upper pad while feeding on the vegetation. In addition, they travel in fixed routes in their habitats, which are always protected by the male deer. The animal is described as shy, and that is why it prefers staying in places that are well covered, where it is well adapted to the surrounding environment so that it is not noticed easily. Number 5. Saiga antelope. The Saiga antelope originally inhabited a vast region of the Eurasian steppe zone. Their range once went from the foothills of the Carpathian Mountains and Caucasus to Dzungaria and Mongolia. The dominant species of this animal is currently found in just 1 location in Russia and 3 areas in Kazakhstan. Some of the animals located in the Usturt region of Kazakhstan migrate south to Uzbekistan and as far as Turkmenistan in winter. The Saiga antelope is extinct in China and Mongolia. Due to extensive hunting in Romania and Moldova, it is extinct in those areas as well. A Mongolian species is all that remains in Mongolia. They have an unusual hanging nose which makes them look like a camel, although they are good-sized, and male saigas have horns. The saiga antelope typically forms rather large herds that will graze in various landscapes including steppes, semi-desert grasslands, and sometimes open woodlands. Number 6. Mata-mata turtle. Mata-mata turtles are aquatic turtles that live in the rivers and swamps of South America. They're a freshwater species, so you won't find them on salty shores, but they are spread out just about everywhere else. They're also available for sale as exotic pets. They come in mottled shades of gray, brown, black, and dark green that are meant to camouflage them as they hide in the water. There's also a lot of texture to their bodies. They have skin flaps and shell ridges. They have barbels and tubercles. Combined with their neutral colors, this makes them look like leaves and tree bark floating in the river. Number 7. Okapi. The okapi is the only living relative of the giraffe. They are ruminants and share a common ancestor with deer and bovids. These species have a long, dark-colored tongue. In the okapi, the tongue can measure between 14 and 18 inches long, and they can lick their own ears and eyelids. Unlike their giraffe relatives, okapi are not found in open savannas but instead live in dense rainforests. Currently, they are only found in the Democratic Republic of Congo, but in the recent past, they were also found in the Sandiki forest of Uganda. Okapi are hunted for meat and skins, and a major threat to this species is habitat loss due to logging and human settlement. Number 8. Blobfish. Blobfish is a deep-sea fish that belongs to the family of fatheads. It can be found in Australia, Tasmania, and New Zealand. Blobfish inhabits dark and cold parts of the ocean and spreads its own life on a depth of 2,000 to 3,900 feet, where the water pressure is 60 to 120 times higher compared with the pressure at the sea level. The biggest threat for the survival of blobfish is accidental entrapment in the fishing nets. This unusual fish is very rare and currently listed as endangered. It has a big head, huge mouth with drooping corners, beady eyes, and a big nose. Exact morphology of this fish in the water is unknown, but it probably has tapered body and flat tail. However, little is known about the reproductive behavior of blobfish, except that females lay thousands of pink eggs on the ocean floor. Due to lack of plants, caves, and rocky outcrops that could be used for hiding the eggs, one of the partners needs to guard fertilized eggs until they hatch. Number 9. Axolotl. The axolotl is a neotenic salamander and is considered to be one of the world's most unusual and unique species of salamanders. It retains the characteristics it develops at the larval stage, keeping its gills and retaining an aquatic life. The axolotl has an astonishing ability to control his body organs. It can grow back lost limbs in only a few weeks, and it can even regenerate its lungs, heart, spinal cord, and parts of its brain if it suffers a head injury and heals without any scarring. In the wild, the axolotl is pretty much on its own, although it does have a couple of other aquatic competitors that consider the Mexican walking fish as part of their food chain. Number 10. Yeti Crab. The Yeti Crab is a marine creature that lives near the thermal vents in the ocean floor, where hot water gushes into the sea. There are a total of 4 known species that exist in 4 different marine locations: the Pacific Antarctic Ridge, the East Pacific, the East Scotia Ridge, and the Australian Antarctic Ridge. 2 similar species are known to exist in the vents on the southwest Indian Ridge and at the Galapagos. Each of the different species differ slightly from each other. The water depth and temperature is also a contributing factor to differences between the species. As all are deep-sea dwellers, the conditions are mostly dark and very cold, with warmer water coming from the hydrothermal vents, creating the habitat for these creatures to live. The average length of the Yeti crab is 15 centimeters. Although it appears to be a carnivore, this creature eats bacteria that are fertilized on its own legs.